Have you ever felt your own thoughts betray you? One moment, you're calm and focused. The next, you're swept away by anxiety, regret, or anger, like a leaf carried helplessly down a raging river. What if I told you that, just beyond your awareness, there exists a simple key to free yourself from this internal storm? A secret taught by the Buddha, hidden in a humble tale of a monk and a stray cat, that can transform your mind forever. Stay with me, because today you'll discover how to seize control of your own consciousness, transcending the chaos of everyday thoughts and unlocking the door to deep inner peace. 1. The Tale of the Monk and the Wandering Cat. In an age when monasteries clung to misty mountaintops like silent sentinels, there lived a venerable monk named Vimalananda, renowned far and wide for his equanimity and profound insight. Yet beneath his composed exterior, he faced a seemingly frivolous adversary, a scruffy, gray-furred stray cat that had claimed the monastery grounds as its own domain. Though the cat's paw prints might appear innocuous, its presence threatened the very foundation of monastic discipline. Each dawn, as the first rays of sunlight filtered through ancient pines, Vimalananda and his fellow monks would gather in the grand meditation hall. Incense curled skyward, and the air brimmed with the soft resonance of mantras. But before the hush could settle, the cat would emerge, silent as a shadow, leap onto the altar, scattering lotus petals and sending fragrant ash cascading to the floor. The novices, whose nascent minds had not mastered detachment, reacted with exasperated cries and frantic swipes, their concentration shattered. Weeks passed, and the novices' agitation grew. One morning, the abbot summoned Vimalananda to the courtyard, his aged face creased with concern. "Dear brother," the abbot said softly, "your reputation for stillness is unparalleled. Yet this elusive creature brews chaos in the hearts of my young disciples. How might we reclaim tranquility when even a cat can break our focus?" Vimalananda, his robes rustling in the mountain breeze, closed his eyes and inhaled deeply, drawing in the crisp mountain air as though tasting the universe itself. He opened his gaze to the cat, now perched serenely atop a moss-covered stone. In that moment, his voice, calm and unwavering, replied, "To teach the mind stillness, one must first learn from the master of stillness, this cat. Observe." Gently, he invited the novices to follow him to a secluded rock garden. The cat, sensing no threat, padded ahead. Vimalananda motioned for the monks to sit. The novices arranged themselves around the cat in rows as he did, each cross-legged on the smooth flagstones. Vimalananda settled at the center, placing a single lotus petal in his palm and closing his eyes. Time slowed to a heartbeat. The cat, curious, sat before him, ears tipped forward. As the cold stone kissed their touch, the novices felt a profound shift. The wind ceased its whisper, the distant chanting receded, and even their own thoughts seemed to hush. Minutes stretched, then hours, but neither monk nor cat stirred. The cat's emerald eyes remained half-lidded, its whiskers relaxed, its tail curled in perfect repose. Vimalananda's chest rose and fell like a placid sea, his mind anchored in the eternal present. When the sun had traced half its arc, Vimalananda opened his eyes and smiled. The novices, wide-eyed and breathless, sensed the alchemy that had occurred. The charged tension of distraction had dissolved into the crystalline purity of awareness. Vimalananda spoke. "This cat carries no regrets of yesterday, nor anxieties of tomorrow. It exists wholly in this single moment. Our minds, clouded by memory and expectation, can learn the same. If the feline can embody stillness without effort, so can our consciousness, provided we train it with equal dedication." In the days that followed, the cat became an unlikely teacher. Each monk sought to emulate its effortless calm, returning to the rock garden at dawn to practice presence. Slowly, the cat's disturbances ceased to rouse turmoil. Instead, its steady grace inspired each monk to to witness the ebb and flow of their own thoughts without judgment. Through this simple yet profound parable, Vimalananda unveiled a truth that resonates within every human heart. The capacity for stillness and the mastery of one's own mind lies not in forceful control, but in gentle, unwavering observation. As we embark on this journey of mind mastery, remember the lesson of the wandering cat. True tranquility is born in the space between breaths, in the silence between thoughts. 2. Understanding the mind. 2 arrows and the clouds of thought. The journey to mastery begins with a clear understanding of the battlefield, your own mind. Buddha illuminated this terrain with 2 profound metaphors, the 2 arrows and the clouds of thought. Together they reveal how suffering arises and how liberation is possible through mindful awareness. The 2 arrows, recognizing self-inflicted suffering. The Buddha likened human suffering to 2 arrows. The first is the unavoidable pain of life, the thorn in your foot, the sting of loss, the pang of illness. This first arrow is neutral. It is simply cause and effect at work. However, the second arrow is your reaction to that initial pain, the mental anguish, self-blame, regret, and fear that you inflict upon yourself. While you cannot always avoid the first arrow, you have absolute power over the second. Each time you ruminate on a mistake, replay a painful memory, or catastrophize a potential outcome, you unleash that second arrow. Over time, these self-inflicted wounds compound, creating a storehouse of mental anguish that overshadows the original event. The key to freedom lies in pausing between arrows, allowing the space to choose a different response. Practical insight. When faced with discomfort, physical or emotional, place a compassionate hand on your chest and silently ask, "Is this my first arrow, or am I firing a second one?" Simply naming the experience creates enough distance to choose mindfulness over reaction. Clouds of thought. Detaching from mental patterns. Imagine your mind as an expansive sky. Thoughts are like clouds drifting across this sky, some dark with fear and anger, others light with hope and joy. The sky itself remains vast, clear, and unaffected by the clouds passing through. When we identify with our thoughts, we become caught in storms of emotion. Meditation teaches us to watch each cloud without judgment, allowing it to pass until the sky of pure awareness shines through once more. The cat as model. In the parable of Vimalananda and the stray cat, the feline's unbroken stillness mirrors the open sky, undaunted by incense scents, chanting echoes, or changing light. The cat simply sits, observing without attachment. We too can cultivate this stance, transforming reactive minds into contemplative witnesses. Mental noting, a tool for cloud watching. One powerful technique is mental noting. As thoughts arise, you mentally label them, planning, worrying, remembering, judging. By assigning a simple name and then returning to the breath, you interrupt the auto-amplification of thought. Over time, labeling becomes second nature, and mental chatter loses its grip. Guided practice. 10 minutes. Find a quiet seat and close your eyes. Bring attention to the breath. Notice the rise and fall of the abdomen. As a thought emerges, internally note its category. Thinking, feel anger, planning. Gently let it go, returning to the breath. Continue this noting process throughout the session. By the end of 10 minutes, you will have cultivated a direct experience of the gap between thoughts, a space where true freedom resides. The power of equanimity. Equanimity, or upekkha in Pali, is balanced presence in the face of life's fluctuations. It is neither suppression nor indifference, but a compassionate acknowledgement of all phenomena without reactive clinging. When you develop equanimity, neither praise nor blame, pleasure nor pain can unsteady you for long. Real-life scenario. Consider a heated argument at work. Your habitual pattern might be to react defensively or withdraw entirely. By engaging the 2 arrows framework, You recognize the initial sting, first arrow, but refuse to shoot the second arrow of resentment or self-criticism. Instead, you pause, breathe, and respond with equanimity, addressing concerns without personal attack. This interruption not only spares you additional suffering, but transforms conflict into an opportunity for growth. Integration into daily life. Understanding is only powerful when applied. Each morning, take 5 mindful breaths and recall the 2 arrows. Each evening, review moments when you labeled your thoughts as clouds and return to the sky of awareness. Over weeks, this practice rewires your neural pathways, diminishing reactive patterns and strengthening mindful response. As you deepen this exploration of suffering and freedom, the path becomes clearer. Mastery of the mind emerges not through brute force, but through gentle observation, compassionate awareness, and unwavering presence. Now take your next step. Choose one practice. Whether it is the mindful noting of thoughts, a 5-minute dream journal ritual, or a brief astral visualization, commit to it daily for 1 week. Share your experience. Post in the comments below how it transformed your awareness, your moods, or your momentum. Subscribe to Bodhi's Sensei. Join our growing community of seekers dedicated to living these ancient truths in modern life. Together, let us cultivate minds as calm as the wandering cat, as clear as the night sky, and as boundless as the dawning light. Your journey toward mastery begins now. You can control your mind after this.